Hello viewers, I am Professor Sharanjeet, working at the Rajiv Gandhi National University of Law, Punjab. Today we shall discuss NGOs and prisons. Before discussing NGOs and prisons, it is imperative to throw some light on the current state of the Indian prisons. The Indian prison system grapples with challenges such as overcrowding, inadequate facilities, and limited resources. Many prisons operate beyond capacity, resulting in substandard living conditions for the inmates. Issues like insufficient amenities, healthcare, and educational facilities contribute to a challenging environment, necessitating a critical examination of the state of the current prison system. Addressing the needs of prisoners is crucial from both a human rights perspective and a societal standpoint. Ensuring the well-being of individuals in custody aligns with fundamental human rights principles, emphasizing humane treatment and dignity for all. Moreover, meeting prisoners' needs, including education and mental health support, contributes to rehabilitation, reduces recidivism, and fosters social integration. This approach not only upholds legal and ethical obligations, but also enhances community safety, public trust in the justice system, and the overall harmony within prison environments. It represents a holistic strategy for building a just and stable society. Non-government organizations play a pivotal role in advocating for and implementing reforms within the Indian prison system. These organizations often act as catalysts for change by actively engaging with the authorities, policymakers, and the public at large. Their advocacy extends to issues such as overcrowding, inadequate living conditions, and the overall well-being of the prisoners. NGOs leverage their expertise to propose and champion reform that promotes human rights, rehabilitation, and a more just and effective criminal justice system. Examples of some successful NGO initiatives in the Indian prisons are: several NGOs in India have demonstrated the effectiveness of their initiatives in bringing about positive changes in the prison environment. For instance, organizations focusing on legal aid have successfully provided assistance to the prisoners, ensuring fair trials and access to justice. Rehabilitation programs initiated by the NGOs have shown promising results in reducing recidivism, offering vocational training, and facilitating the reintegration of ex-prisoners into the society. These success stories highlight the tangible impact of NGO efforts in addressing systematic issues and improving the lives of those within the prison system. NGOs like the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative and the Alternative Law Forum actively advocate for prison reforms in India. CHRI focuses on transparency and accountability, collaborating with authorities to address issues such as overcrowding. ALF, on the other hand, empowers prisoners with legal knowledge through workshops, contributing to systematic changes that promote justice and human rights. Prayas, in collaboration with Tihar Prison, runs the Maihar initiative, emphasizing art-based rehabilitation. Inmates' artwork is showcased in exhibitions, fostering a sense of accomplishment and aiding in their rehabilitation. Another impactful initiative is the Muskan Foundation, which addresses mental health in prisons through counseling and awareness programs. These examples showcase how NGOs like Prayas, Tihar Welfare Group, and Muskan Foundation contribute to meaningful reforms, promoting rehabilitation and well-being within the prison system. Now we shall talk about NGOs' contribution to upholding the prisoners' rights. Starting with the legal aid to prisoners, NGOs play a vital role in offering legal aid to prisoners by providing counseling and education on legal rights within the prison facilities. Through workshops and training sessions, inmates gain a better understanding of the legal system, court procedures, and the potential legal remedies. These initiatives empower the prisoners to navigate complex legal processes and make informed decisions about their cases. Next is representation and advocacy. NGOs extend assistance beyond education, actively helping prisoners with legal documentation and representation in the courts. Some NGOs take on cases pro bono, ensuring that prisoners have fair and adequate representation. Additionally, these organizations engage in advocacy efforts, collaborating with authorities to address systematic issues, promote policy reforms, and monitor prisons for potential human rights violations. By providing legal aid, NGOs contribute significantly to upholding the rights of prisoners and advocating for a more just and equitable criminal justice system. Next is rehabilitation initiatives for prisoners by the NGOs. Several NGOs in India actively engage in rehabilitation programs aimed at helping prisoners reintegrate into society successfully. Organizations such as Prayas and Tihar Welfare Group focus on holistic approaches to rehabilitation, addressing various aspects of inmates' lives to promote personal growth and societal reintegration. These programs often include vocational training, educational opportunities, and psychological support to address the diverse needs of the individuals within the prison system. One noteworthy success story is the New Beginnings program by Prayas in collaboration with the Tihar prisons. This initiative provides vocational training in fields such as carpentry, tailoring, computer skills. Graduates of the program have shown increased employability upon release, reducing the likelihood of reoffending. Another success is the Tihar Art Project, which encourages artistic expression among the inmates. The project not only serves as a therapeutic outlet, but has also led to exhibitions where inmates' artwork is showcased, fostering a sense of accomplishment and aiding in their societal reintegration. These success stories highlight the transformative impact of rehabilitation programs facilitated by the NGOs, showcasing the potential for positive change and the reintegration of former prisoners into the community. Healthcare needs of the prisoners. In India, NGOs like Doctors for You and the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative are pivotal in addressing the healthcare needs of the prisoners. These organizations conduct medical camps within prison facilities, providing on-site healthcare services, including regular checkups, screenings, and mental health support. Recognizing the unique challenges within the prison system, some NGOs also advocate for reforms, collaborating with authorities to improve healthcare infrastructure, ensure the availability of medical personnel, and enhance the overall quality of healthcare services for the inmates. Next is advocacy and preventive measures. NGOs actively engage in advocacy efforts, striving to bring about systematic improvements in prison healthcare. This includes providing training programs for prison staff to enhance their understanding of healthcare needs and conducting preventive health education initiatives for the prisoners. By addressing immediate medical concerns and advocating for long-term reforms, these NGOs contribute significantly to promoting the health and well-being of individuals within the criminal justice system. Education initiative for the prisoners. NGOs in India actively spearhead education initiatives within the prison settings, recognizing the transformative impact of learning on rehabilitation. Organizations such as Prisoners' Rights to Education and Tihar Education Society focus on providing educational opportunities to the inmates. These initiatives include literacy programs, formal education classes, and vocational training, aiming to equip prisoners with skills that enhance their intellectual and practical capabilities. Education not only empowers prisoners but also significantly contributes to reducing recidivism rates, offering a pathway to personal growth and societal reintegration. Next is family integration programs. Addressing the importance of maintaining family ties, NGOs in India like Sathi and Tinka work towards family integration initiatives for the prisoners. Recognizing the social and emotional support families provide, these programs facilitate regular communication, visitation rights, and counseling services for both inmates and their families. By fostering connections with the outside world, these initiatives contribute to the emotional well-being of the prisoners and enhance the likelihood of successful reintegration into the society upon release. Family integration programs not only benefit individuals within the prison system but also strengthen the social fabric by acknowledging the role of families in the rehabilitation process. Now we shall discuss some landmark cases with regards to prisons. In the landmark judgment pertaining to inhuman conditions in 1382 prisons for the year 2016, the Supreme Court, taking suo motu cognizance, addressed the deplorable and inhuman conditions prevailing in 1382 prisons across the country. The conditions included severe overcrowding, a lack of sanitation, inadequate health care, and instances of custodial violence. The court expressed deep concern over the violation of prisoners' fundamental rights and emphasized the urgent need for comprehensive prison reforms. It highlighted issues like delayed trials, poor living conditions, and the lack of rehabilitation programs, becoming a landmark case advocating for systematic changes in the Indian prison systems. Next is with regards to excessive under-trial detention. During this period, multiple cases shed light on the pervasive issue of Indian prisons' excessive under-trial detention, where individuals were held without trial for extending periods. The judiciary, including the Supreme Court, addressed the violation of the right to a speedy trial. The court emphasized the need for systematic changes in legal processes to expedite trials, reduce under-trial detention, and ensure a fair and just criminal system. Furthermore, in the case of inhuman conditions in 1382 prisons, continuing its monitoring, the Supreme Court in 2018 reviewed the progress made in addressing the issues identified in the previous suo motu case. The court reiterated its concerns about the slow progress in prison reforms, emphasizing the need for immediate and effective measures. It underlined the state's responsibility to safeguard the rights of prisoners and urged them to prioritize human conditions, healthcare, and the decongestion of the prisons. In the next segment, we shall talk about prisoners' rights to health amid the COVID-19 pandemic. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, concerns were raised about the vulnerability of prisoners to the virus due to the cramped living conditions. Courts, including the Supreme Court, acknowledged the high risks faced by prisoners and issued directives to ensure their safety. This included orders for decongestion, the improvement of healthcare facilities, and the protection of prisoners' rights during the pandemic. The case highlighted the need for a coordinated response to safeguard the health and well-being of individuals in custody. Another important case is Charles Sobraj in the year 1970. Charles Sobraj was notorious and was known as the Bikini Killer, gained international attention for a series of murders. In the 1970s, authorities in India arrested him and charged him with the killing of multiple tourists. Sobraj's criminal activities spanned across Asia, and his arrest in India brought focus not only on his crimes but also on the conditions of Tihar jail. The case raised concerns about the need for reforms in the Indian prison system, shedding light on issues such as overcrowding and the overall state of correctional institutions. The case not only addressed the crimes of Sobraj but also highlighted the urgent need for reforms in the Indian prison system. It drew attention to issues like overcrowding and the conditions within the correctional facilities. Next landmark case is Sunil Batra versus Delhi Administration, 1978. Sunil Batra, an under-trial prisoner, filed a petition in 1978 challenging the conditions in Tihar jail. He highlighted issues related to the treatment of prisoners, leading to a landmark legal intervention. The Supreme Court's verdict in this case marked a paradigm shift by recognizing that fundamental rights are not forfeited during imprisonment. The judgment emphasized the rehabilitative aspect of the criminal justice system, contributing significantly to the discourse on the prisoner's rights and the need for a more human approach to incarceration. Next landmark case is Husnara Khatun versus State of Bihar, 1979. Originating from Bihar, this case addressed the prolonged incarceration of under-trial prisoners. It brought attention to the systematic issue of delayed trials, where individuals were languishing in the jails for extended periods without resolution. The Supreme Court's landmark declaration that the right to a speedy trial is a fundamental right marked a paradigm shift. The judgment underscored the imperative of swift justice delivery and catalyzed legal reforms aimed at expediting trials. The case played an important role in bringing about systematic changes to reduce the prolonged detention of the under-trial prisoners. Next landmark case is Sheila Barse versus State of Maharashtra, 1983. This case was filed by a social activist, Sheila Barse, in 1983, and it focused on the conditions prevailing in protective homes and jails, with a specific emphasis on the treatment of women prisoners in Maharashtra. The Supreme Court's issuance of guidelines for the treatment of women prisoners set a precedent for gender-sensitive reforms. The case shed light on the unique challenges faced by women within the prison system, leading to policy changes to ensure the humane treatment and protection of the female inmates. It contributed significantly to shaping a more compassionate and gender-inclusive prison environment. Next important case is Ajit Singh versus State of Punjab, 1985. Arising in 1985, this case dealt with an instance of custodial violence that resulted in the death of Ajit Singh, a prisoner in Punjab. The Supreme Court's emphasis on protecting prisoners from custodial violence marked a crucial step in recognizing the vulnerability of the individuals in custody. The case contributed to ongoing efforts to establish safeguards against abuse within the prison environments, emphasizing the state's responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of those under its custody. Now we shall talk about the challenges faced by NGOs and the solutions for the same. The first challenge is limited funding. NGOs often face financial constraints that hinder the implementation of comprehensive programs. The solution for this problem lies in diversify funding sources by exploring government grants, establishing corporate partnerships, and actively seeking individual donations to ensure financial sustainability. The next problem is bureaucratic hurdles. Navigating bureaucratic processes and gaining approvals can be time-consuming, impacting the timely execution of the initiatives. As a solution, there is a need to build collaborative partnerships with government agencies, correctional authorities, and fellow NGOs to streamline processes and facilitate smoother implementation. Next challenge is skepticism from authorities. Authorities may harbor skepticism about the effectiveness of NGO-led initiatives in prison settings. A solution is engaging in advocacy efforts to raise public awareness about the importance of prison reform, address concerns, and garner support from these authorities. The next problem is the complex nature of working in the prisons. The intricate dynamics within prison environments require flexible and innovative program models. As a solution, there is a need to develop innovative and replicable program models that can adapt to the unique challenges within prison settings, showcasing flexibility and effectiveness. Next problem is with regards to balancing the diverse needs of prisoners. Prisoners have diverse needs ranging from legal aid to education and healthcare, demanding a multifaceted approach. Solution lies to adopt a holistic approach that considers interconnected needs, legal, educational, healthcare, and social, to tailor programs effectively and comprehensively. Next issue is with regards to limited capacity and training. NGOs may face limitations in staff capacity and expertise, impacting program delivery. As a solution, offer continuous training programs to staff and volunteers, building capacity to navigate legal complexities, comply with regulations, and enhance overall effectiveness. Next challenge is demonstrating sustained impact. Ensuring the long-term impact and sustainability of programs requires rigorous monitoring and evaluation. As a solution, implement robust monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to assess program impact, identify areas for improvement, and make informed adjustments over time. Next issue is navigating diverse legal frameworks. Working within diverse legal frameworks poses challenges in compliance and adaptability. To solve this problem, there is a need to engage in strategic networking with other NGOs, community organizations, and academic institutions for knowledge sharing, collaborative problem solving, and collective approaches to navigate legal complexities effectively. Now we shall focus on the legal dimensions in context of the Indian prison systems. First is the right to a speedy trial. Article 21 of the Constitution of India provides for a speedy trial. The right to speedy trial is considered a fundamental right under Article 21, which guarantees the protection of life and personal liberty. Cases like Husnara Khatun versus State of Bihar highlighted this right and led to judicial pronouncements emphasizing the need for timely justice delivery system. Interpreting and enforcing this constitutional right is necessary to ensure that individuals are not unduly detained without a swift resolution of their cases. Next is custodial violence and human rights. Various provisions under the Indian Penal Code 1860 and the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 focus on this aspect. Important cases are Ajit Singh versus State of Punjab, which brought attention to custodial violence. Legal dimensions involve the application of relevant sections of the Indian Penal Code dealing with offences by public servants and specific provisions within the human rights framework. The legal discourse focuses on preventing custodial excesses, ensuring accountability, and seeking redress for victims of such violence. Next aspect is gender-sensitive reforms. Various provisions under the Constitution, including Articles 14, 15, and 21, and guidelines established by the Supreme Court in Sheila Barsey versus State of Maharashtra 1983, address the treatment of women prisoners. Legal dimensions encompass constitutional provisions promoting equality and non-discrimination. The judiciary's role involves interpreting and applying these provisions, leading to the establishment of guidelines for gender-sensitive reforms within the prison system. Next is prisoners' right to health. Article 21 of the Constitution and relevant public health regulations deal with the same. The COVID-19 pandemic emphasized the right to health for prisoners. Legal dimensions include interpreting Article 21 to encompass the right to health and using public health regulations to ensure the safety of prisoners during the health crisis. Courts, including the Supreme Court, issued directives to prisons for decongestion and improved healthcare facilities. Next aspect is prison reforms and fundamental rights. The relevant legal provisions are fundamental rights as enshrined in the Indian Constitution. The broader legal dimensions involve the interplay of multiple fundamental rights. Ensuring prisoners' rights to dignity, protection from cruel and unusual punishment, and access to justice requires a comprehensive legal framework. Cases like the suo motu intervention on inhuman conditions in prisons contribute to the ongoing discourse on aligning prison practices with the constitutional principles. In conclusion, NGOs engaged in prison reform and rehabilitation play a pivotal role in addressing the multifaceted challenges within the criminal justice system. Despite facing hurdles such as limited funding, bureaucratic complexities, these organizations showcase resilience and innovation. By diversifying funding sources, building collaborative partnerships, and adopting holistic approaches, NGOs can overcome obstacles and contribute to sustained positive changes. The success stories in legal aid, rehabilitation programs, and family integration initiatives underscore the transformative impact these organizations have on the lives of the prisoners. As these NGOs continue their crucial work, it is imperative to recognize and support their efforts in fostering a more just, human, and rehabilitative approach within the realm of prisons and criminal justice. With this, we come to an end of today's lecture. Thank you very much.